I am Dr. Bob Green. I am a board certified internal medicine physician. And I just came out of Total Wine a few minutes ago. And I said to the guy who's helping me find a Chardonnay, how long you been doing this? And he said, oh, I just started. And I said, oh, you like it? And he went, like that. And I said, well, have I got something for you? And I gave him a little card with my QR code on it. And I basically said to him, take a look at this. It's hot. I want you to just scroll down on what you see on this QR code, tap on the individual products that you see. It'll give you lots of information, and then give me a call back. And he went, a doctor, huh? And I said, yep. And more importantly, if you decide to join me in this, you're my partner and I'm your partner. And you're going to tell everybody, hey, I got this great opportunity here with this great company. And my partner just happens to be a board certified physician. So let me get him on the phone for you to answer all your questions. Anyway, the whole beauty of this business, as those of you who are perhaps new, is we all work together, we all help each other, and that's what makes it so exciting. So, with that in mind, let me see if I can get this up, and away we go. Hold on one second. Why isn't that coming on? There we go. Whoops. Okay. So the name of our company is called Three International. And it is basically a company that is into proactive wellness. And the gentleman you see there on that first screen looking up at the sky and the trees is Dr. Dan Gubler. And he is our genius who basically put all these products together. And he really is a genius. He's, 46, 47 years old. He's got a PhD in organic chemistry. He's affiliated with Caltech. For those of you that don't know the name Caltech, it's considered like the Harvard of the West Coast. He's been in nutritional, proactive wellness arena for, 20 years or so. He's brought 70 different products to market. He's got 16 patents. The guy eats, breathes, talks science. He loves science. And that's in part because his grandfather was a scientist who was involved in, bringing out riboflavin, one of the B vitamins. He discovered it. His grandfather did. So this guy, Dr. Dan, is the real deal. This company basically is all about loving yourself, which means getting healthy, loving your family, which means helping your family to get healthy, loving your community, which means basically just spreading the word. Now, it's called Three for a number of different reasons. The three goals right here that you see, but there are also some other reasons that we'll get into in a minute. So the company is it started in May of 2023, headquartered in Utah. Now it has additional offices in Hong Kong and Indonesia. And it's basically a company that is going to go around the world. Spreading the good word. When people say to me, what are you doing? I say, well, I'm on a mission. I'm going to introduce 8.1 billion people. That's the number of people in the world, 8.1 billion, to these three wonderful products. And basically, people who are in the boat with me, who are all on the same path, are basically very successful people who are very focused, very experienced in building international businesses. So it's a good group of people. You're in the right place. Here's a picture of the proven leaders. In medical school, we used to say, you see one, you do one, you teach one. Well, look at the bottom of the screen. It says, knows the way, goes the way, shows the way. Basically, they teach by example. They are out there doing the business. A lot of them, like me, started part-time. I'm very busy with my internal medicine practice. But if you've got 30 minutes a day, you can do this business and be very successful with it. And there's always support. All those people would love to give everybody a hand. Anybody who has an interest in growing their business, there's always support. Here's the management team. The company was founded by the guy on the left. His name is Dan Picotte. Dan is, I don't know, about 47, 48, something like that. Came from nothing. He was brought up in an orphanage, poor as could be. By sweat and work and dedication, became a multimillionaire in whatever businesses he did. And then he decided to found three a couple of years ago. The guy in the middle is the chief scientific officer. That's Dr. Dan, as I've been telling you. And he looks like a kid, but he's brilliant. And the guy on the right is Troy Moore, who basically keeps the lights on and runs the show in terms of the administrative stuff. But it's a good team. It's a good team. So the business model that we're following today is to create what we call a cross-border social e-commerce business. And I got to tell you, folks, it's growing like crazy. It started in May of 2023 from zero, and it started out of the gate in 15 countries. Dan Picotte, the CEO, decided he's going to get going on this with a bang. So rather than building up the business here in the United States and then waiting for it to get big enough to go to Canada and then maybe China, he decided he's going to start it up in 15 countries simultaneously. And that's one of the reasons why this thing has exploded from zero to $150 million worth of sales of these 9 products in 20 short months. Now stop and think, how many startups do you know that go from zero to 150 million in sales in 20 months? So take a look at that, those countries that are listed there, and stop and think, who do I know in any one of those countries? Because if you know somebody in one of those countries, or you know somebody who knows somebody in one of those countries, within a matter of minutes, you could have a business growing and glowing in one of those countries, and you basically are the head of it. That's what we mean by cross-border social e-commerce. E-commerce. So we're looking for people who want a business opportunity to work on their own time and space. We want people to have better health and wellness, and we want them to be part of what we are, a like-minded community, basically, of people who see it, smell it, eat it, because we ourselves are taking all of these supplements and getting the wonderful benefits from it. And basically, we want to share the word. And by sharing the word, you're basically opening up opportunities for people who never, ever could dream that they could do anything in their own home-based business, so they could stay home and see their kids and see their spouses and have some free time and smell the roses. You know, just before the call, I got off the phone call. I met somebody on Saturday at a fundraiser in San Francisco for the lieutenant governor, well, one of the people that's going to run for lieutenant governor. This guy is 53 years old, and he's the CFO of a company that is making clean rooms. Clean rooms are basically rooms that scientists have to go into when they have to be sure that there's no contamination on their clothes or on their products. And this guy I gave him a card and I said to him, "Did you look at the QR code?" And he said, "I got to tell you, I met you Saturday. I'm now up in Oregon where he lives." He says, "I haven't had a chance." He says, "I'm crazy busy working 18 hours a week and loving it in terms of my business." And I thought, wow, that's great. And then I said, "How about your wife, who he told me is an accountant?" And then he said, "Oh, she's got plenty of time." And I said, "Great, show it to her, because if she's got 30 minutes a day, she can work with me and we can really build this out beautifully." Anyway, I planted the seed and we'll see what happens. But you got to understand that there are a lot of people out there who are salaried and basically have never been entrepreneurial, don't know the first thing about starting their own business, are scared to start their own business, don't have the money to start their own business. And when you tell them, "Listen, let me take you under my arm and work with you, $30 a year, that's what it's going to cost you. $30 a year to get going with this and just watch it grow, grow, grow. They glow, especially as they start to see success because they're so proud because they've never been able to do something like this on their own before, and they never dreamed it was possible, including cab drivers who I am talking to every time I get into an Uber. I always talk about this as well. So we are a company that's on the cutting edge. The old paradigm, as you can see, is you are what you eat. Your DNA is your blueprint. You're stuck with it. And it's all about reactive wellness. What does that mean? That means when you get sick, you go to the doctor, like me, an internist, to get a prescription medication to make you healthy. But the new paradigm is what we're all about. It's not reactive wellness, it's proactive wellness. Our concept is if you stay on phytonutrients, 100% pure products like we've got at 3 International, you have a much better chance at staying healthy. Flash, bulletin, alert, the New England Journal of Medicine, which many of you may know, some of you may not. It's one of the most prestigious medical journals printed. Just came out, this week's issue, with an article on nutrition. And in that article, it said that over half of the adults in the United States are on supplements. And those people who are on supplements usually are healthier. And those people who are on supplements usually are more oriented towards staying healthy and having better lifestyle habits, meaning no smoking, no obesity, no drugs, take it easy on the alcohol, get enough sleep, get exercise. The point I'm getting across to you is more and more people are becoming aware that you need to think proactively rather than reactively. That's why we're on the cutting edge. So one of the other great things that Dr. Dan has done for us is that second line under New Paradigm, you are what you absorb. Well, he has developed what's called cellular absorption technology. We'll get into that in a little bit in a minute, but basically what it does is it puts our company at the very head of the line in terms of quality, because the standard in this industry is that when you take a supplement or a mineral or a vitamin, you absorb 10% and you pee out or poop out 90%. In fact, if you tell people you're taking vitamins or supplements, many of them will go, ha ha, you've got expensive urine. Okay, well, not anymore, because Dr. Dan has increased the absorption on our 6 products that you take by mouth from that 10% figure anywhere between 30 and 95%. That's huge. Not only is it huge in terms of benefit for your body because you're absorbing these wonderful molecules, but in terms of value, it's head and shoulders. So let's do the math. If you had if you took something and it cost $50 for a month's supply, and you peed out 95% of it, or pooped out 95% of it, you would only absorb $5 worth. But now, if you take that same $50 product, and now Dr. Dan's got this cellular absorption technology, subscribe to it, instead of eliminating 90% of it, you're keeping 30 to 95%, which is a lot more value for you. We also stress that we are all about phytonutrients, and we use whole foods and plants, and all of our products, all 9 products, are from phytonutrients. There's no preservatives in them. There's no artificial fillers or sweeteners or anything like that in it. It's all natural stuff. We'll get into that in a minute. Hold on. I got somebody is making noise here. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I gotta bear with me. I'm gonna mute all. Here we go. There we go. Mute all. Yes. Okay, so now you're all muted. So anyway, here we go. So Basically, it's phytonutrition, it's absorption, it's lifestyle and environment, and that's what it's all about in terms of making you healthy. And that's exactly what the New England Journal of Medicine just said. People who take supplements are usually healthier, usually have better lifestyles, and as a result are going to be living longer. All right. Now, one of the other things that makes our company unique is we are the only company that I know of that has what's called a scientific advisory board. These are physicians from all kinds of specialties all over the United States, including one of them who's from Japan now. And basically, these folks are in practice, either in their own private practices or group practices, or they are in university practices, which means they're affiliated with an academic institution, such as a university hospital or a medical school. And these physicians volunteer, let me say that again, they volunteer their time to work with Dr. Dan, who's up there in the top left-hand corner. That's Dr. Dan Gubler. He's paid. He's the chief scientific officer. But all of these other people you see are physicians, well-trained, well-qualified, who are very busy in their own private practices seeing patients. And they volunteer their time because their heads are in the same place as my head, as the same place as Dr. Dan's head, and that is, it's all about proactive wellness and nutrition and doing good things for your body as opposed to just taking prescription drugs. That's incredible. No other company I have found who's in the space of nutrition or vitamins or supplements has a volunteer scientific advisory board. There is absolutely nothing in this financially for them other than they're feeling good about what they're doing. They volunteer their time. Now, they are brought periodically, the company will pay for them to come to a convention, be it national or international, to address us, the distributive force, but there's no pay. They're not paid to do that. It's volunteer. Now, one of the reasons why this is head and shoulders over every other company is because we have this, what we call cellular absorption. Basically, what Dr. Dunn does is the first circle on the left, he goes out into the forests and the deserts around the world, and he's looking for roots. He's looking for phytonutrients. Be aware that there are 600,000 species of plants in this world, and less than 5% have been studied to see what kind of medical value they have. So he and his team are always out in the field looking for anything in the way of roots, fungi, leaves, bark, you name it, anything related to a plant that he thinks might be good. He brings it back to the lab, and the second circle in the middle is called curation. And basically what that means is they really put it under the microscope, they start to analyze it, they start to see if there's any medical value at all and what can they combine it with to make it an effective product. Once they have an effective product, which is now we have nine effective products, he does this cellular absorption technique. That's the circle on the right. And basically what that means, he's got 12 different ways that he can break down molecules that are in these products to ensure that they are absorbed quickly across the gut, across the intestinal membrane. That's why, because of cellular absorption, that's why we've got an absorption rate of 30 to 95% versus 10%, the industry standard. The other thing, not only does it get across the gut quicker, out of the gut and into the cells, it gets into the mitochondria, which are part of the cells where the energy is produced in cells at a much more rapid pace. This cellular absorption technology is patented by Dr. Dan. So I'm not worried at all that somebody's going to come up with the same idea and the concept. That's exciting. The other exciting thing here is that all of our products are in this PDR. The PDR used to be called the physician's desk reference, physician's desk reference. It's a book. It's about the size of a big Bible, and we would keep it on our desks, and we would refer to it whenever we were going to write a prescription for a patient to make sure that the dose was correct, that the indication was correct, to find out that if there were any drug-drug interactions or adverse reactions that we had to be aware of before we would prescribe a pharmaceutical medication to a patient. Well, fast forward 20, 30 years, now it's all digital. And now, instead of, in addition to physicians, MDs, and DOs being able to write prescriptions, now, at least in the state of California, nurse practitioners and physician's assistants can also write prescriptions. So now it's called the prescriber's digital reference. To get your product in here is a big deal. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of companies that make vitamins, minerals, supplements, such as we do. However, there's only about 25 of the hundreds or thousands of companies that have had their products accepted into this PDR. In order to get accepted, you have to go, each company has to present its product and the science behind it, and then the folks at the PDR do their own testing to figure out what's good and what's not. If you just go to pdr.net, you can do two things. Number one, you can put in the name of whatever supplement you're taking from whatever company to see if it's accepted. And you'll find that if you put all 9 of our products in pdr.net in that little box in the lower left-hand corner, you'll see that it's accepted. But more importantly, you can do your own due diligence about the PDR to begin with, just by hitting on the tab that talks about the company. And you're going to see the blurbs, the bios of the MDs and the PhDs that make up the PDR. And those are the people who pass yes or no on every company that submits a product. Well, we've submitted all 9, and we have gotten accepted by the PDR, all 9 of them. We are the only company of about 25 to 30 nutritional companies that have products in the PDR. I think we are the only one that has all of our products accepted. This is a big deal, and this makes us shine. All right. Now, Dr. Dan loves to get up at conferences and says he loves Daniel Picot. That's our CEO. Why? Because Daniel Picot is not afraid to spend millions and millions of dollars on letting Dr. Dan, the Chief Scientific Officer, do these third-party clinical studies. You can see that on the slide. Right now, he's got 3 that are done that show dramatic results, that show you the importance and the power of our products. The cellular absorption study I just mentioned before. If you look on the slide or the picture on the left, you're going to see all the way on the left side a little box that maybe I can get my arrow here. That is the industry standard. That's about 10%. And you can see here are 6 products, the 3 products that you take by mouth. Remember, we have 9 products. 6 of them you take by mouth, and the other 3, the Visage collection, which we'll talk about in a minute, you put on your face as a neurocosmetic. But each one of our products is anywhere between 30 and 95% absorption as opposed to 10%. That's a big deal. The middle one, epigenetics. This really gets me excited. Basically, what this means is that Dr. Dan has taken all 6 of these products, and basically exposed them to 8 genes. We have 20,000 genes in our body, and that makes up our DNA and who we are. Well, Dr. Dan took 8 genes, and he basically exposed these 8 genes to all 6 products to see if our products could affect those genes one way or the other. Could they upregulate or turn on some of these genes, or could they downregulate or turn down some of the activities of these genes? Well, lo and behold, Dr. Dan found that 2 of those genes, 2 of those 8 genes that he studied, had tremendous effect from some of our products. It turns out that Vitalite and Revive, 2 of our 6 products that you take by mouth, basically turn on GLP-1. That's one of these 8 genes that he looked at. turn on GLP-1 or upregulate it or make it more active. So what's so special about that? Well, have you heard of Ozempic or Wegovy or Zepbound? These are all what are called semaglutide type medications that basically you inject yourself to help you lose weight or stabilize your blood sugar. Now, how do they work? Simple. They work by upregulating GLP-1. Wait a minute. That's the same GLP-1 I just mentioned that Revive and Vitality also upregulate. Wow! We've got a phytonutrient that does the same thing as a pharmaceutical that you inject into yourself, except our product, Vitality and Revive, have no side effects, no drug-drug interactions. That's incredible. The other very exciting gene that I get excited about among these 8 that he studied is IL-6, interleukin 6. What is that? Well, that's the gene that's associated with inflammation. When our bodies get inflamed, it's because the IL-6 gene has been turned on. Now, why is it bad, inflammation? Because inflammation over time can cause cells to transform into cancer, into weak cells with congestive heart failure and heart disease and stroke and dementia and all kinds of bad things. Inflammation in the body is a bad thing. Years ago, internists such as myself, family practitioners, cardiologists, GPs, we used to start writing medications called statins to lower people's cholesterol. Many of you are I'm on a statin. Many of you are probably on statins. Well, what we found over the last 20 years is not only are the statins effective in lowering our lipids, our cholesterol and triglycerides, but they're also effective in lowering inflammation, decreasing the activity of this IL-6. So a lot of physicians now are giving patients low-dose statins, not because they have high cholesterol, but because the physicians want to lower the inflammation in certain patients' bodies. So, folks, if our products, our phytonutritional products that have no side effects, no drug-drug interactions, if that can lower IL-6 and decrease inflammation, that's a home run. And several of the 6 products will lower IL-6. That is exciting. This is called epigenetics. And you're going to hear more and more about all the effects that pharmaceutical drugs as well as nutritional products have on genes. And the third study on the right is the superoxide study that Dr. Dan did. And what he found is that Revive can lower the level of superoxide. Superoxide is a byproduct of metabolic pathways in our body that can cause inflammation. And our products lower the level of Revive specifically lowers superoxide level by 36%. Now, again, this is third-party clinical studies. What does that mean in English? That just means that Dr. Dan did this research at his labs up in Utah at headquarters of the company. And then he sent it out to different labs that had nothing to do with 3. That's called third party. And he basically said to them, you do the same thing I did here in Utah. See if you come up with the same results. If you do, it's a home run. If you don't, we're back to the drawing board. Well, all of these studies have third-party clinical verification. So what Dr. Dan found in Utah is not a fluke, and it has been repeated by other parties. This is, again, really exciting and leads to the credibility of what we've got going here, folks. So now I am proud to tell you we've got over 1,000 physicians, nurses, dentists, chiropractors, nutritionists, all kinds of science people who are getting into this deal because of the quality of the product. And that is what got me so interested in this when I saw the quality of the products. So here we go. Here are the 6 products. They're called the Wellness Guardians. These are the products that you take by mouth. The first one on the left, Vitality. I want to tell you that that's really the hallmark or the number one product. Everybody should be on Vitality. Why? Because it gives you energy. I love to tell people I am 79 going on 40. I've got more energy than most 40-year-olds I know. I'm the ever-ready battery bunny that just keeps going, and it's because of Vitality. Vitality is a combination of vitamins. It keeps you vital. That's why it's called Vitality. By the way, all of these names are French or have a little French accent on them. That's the way the company decided they would name the products. So Vitality is a combination of all the vitamins you can think of, all the minerals you can think of. It's got enzymes in it. It's got proteases and lipases and amylase in it. These are pancreatic enzymes that help digestion. It's got trace minerals, 72 trace minerals, and lots of amino acids. The amino acids are the building block of protein. And then on top of that, it's got some omega 3, 6, 7, and 9. Those are omega fatty acids, and they're important in our body. They fight inflammation, but it's the same composition of our Vitality gives you those omegas in the same composition as if you were eating a wonderful slice of deep water salmon. So it's a good combination. It's put together very well, and it's something that's very vital for us. It's also got in it probiotics. What are probiotics? Probiotics are good bacteria. You've probably heard of bad bacteria and good bacteria. Lactobacillus is a good bacteria. If you eat yogurt and you look carefully at it, most yogurt containers talk about 1 million cultures or 1 million colonies of lactobacillus. Well, this has got probiotics, 100 million of them, and the good type as well. So Vitality gives you energy. It's good for the eyes, good for the heart, good for the skin. It's just a great product overall. Comes in a little packet. Here's the little packet in the middle of the slide. It's basically got 4 capsules and this little red football that is basically the omega-3. Revive is called the Restorer. Revive was originally developed by Dr. Dan to basically help people who had any kind of inflammation or achiness in their joints, in their tendons, after they did some exercise, either planned exercise, such as going to the gym and working out on the treadmill or lifting weights or swimming or doing whatever you're going to do in the gym, or for those weekend warriors that only do things around the house on the weekends, like gardening or lifting heavy boulders out of the garden or emptying heavy boxes out of the garage or the attic. Those people who have soreness and aches and pains after they do this kind of activity, especially in their wrists or in their elbows or in their joints, because they're not used to doing that kind of thing. Well, Revive is called the Restorer because Dr. Dan thought that this product would help you to get back to your natural state. And what's in Revive? Oh, wonderful stuff. It's got curcumin in it. Curcumin is the main ingredient, the yellow orange ingredient that comes out of the plant turmeric. Turmeric is very close to the ginger plant, and ginger is a great anti-inflammatory as well. And we've got some ginger in the Revive product as well. But the curcumin is good, but along with that comes black cumin oil, and it's also got in it boswellia, and it's got shiitake mushrooms in it, and it's also got sea grape extract in it. It's a great product, and it was originally developed by Dr. Dan to help you with getting your joints and tendons back to normal, to restore them. Well, what's happened is as more and more people have come on board in this company and more people are using these products, we're seeing all kinds of wonderful things happen. People are getting up at conferences and saying, wow, I have gout. Gout is an inflammatory condition in the body, and I've had 50% less episodes of gout. People get up and talk about their bone on bone osteoarthritis in their knees and how they're going to have a knee replacement. And now the pain is much less. People talk about fibromyalgia that they've been suffering with for years. And now all of a sudden they have much less ache and pain. Tension headaches, migraines, the list goes on and on and on. The beautiful thing is that as more and more people take these products and have these wonderful personal testimonials about these products, more and more people hear about it and say, boy, I want to try that because I've got some of the same conditions. Now, I want to stress that the company itself does not make health claims. And this is Dr. Robert Greene personally relating to you what people get up at conferences as personal testimonials and say about these products. And that's the exciting thing, and that's 100% allowed by the FDA as long as the company is not making health claims. But we, the people, can certainly talk about what our experience is. The next product is Immune. Immune is a product, it's called the Protector. And basically what this product does is it stimulates your immune system, it improves your immune system to help you fight off bacteria and viruses. It's especially important when COVID was here. I have a feeling as the measles epidemic gets going, you've probably all heard what's going. And by the way, if you're as old as I am, you might want to check your measles titer to make sure that you have antibodies. And if you don't, you may want to go get a measles immunization again, just for protection. But in any event, Immune is a product that can help to stimulate the immune system so that you don't have the susceptibility to viruses and bacteria. Now, how does it work? It uses this wonderful technique that Dr. Dan has called quorum sensing. Quorum sensing basically is the ability of bacteria to talk to each other. So Immune can inhibit the quorum sensing that goes on between bad bacteria. If bad bacteria in our gut don't talk to each other, the good bacteria, which is the lactobacillus kind, versus the bad bacteria, which is the E. coli kind, the good bacteria outweighs the bad bacteria, and you basically have a stronger immune system. Besides the quorum sensing, it's also got quercetin in it. Quercetin is a very well-known product that basically helps in terms of lowering inflammation and stimulating the immune system. And it's also got some nanosilva in it as well. Nanosilva is wonderful in terms of an antiviral, antibacterial product. Purify is the next one on the list. That's called the detoxifier. That's a green capsule, and that is wonderful. In terms of Purify, Purify helps us because it gets rid of pollutants in our body, such as heavy metals and toxins and air pollution. There's even some thought that it might help us in terms of getting rid of some of the plastic and nanoplastic that's occurring in our body. It's green because it's chlorophyll. It's basically not only helps us to rid our bodies of bad stuff, but it also stimulates the 5 organs already in our body that help us with detoxification. And that's the liver, the lung, the kidney, the colon, and the skin. The skin, of course, is the largest organ in your body. Think about it. You're covered with skin. And basically, that's an important part of the detoxifying process that's going on here. Eternal is the next one. That's called the Rejuvenator. That's got antioxidants in it. What are antioxidants? Antioxidants are substances that basically help get rid of free radicals. What are free radicals? Free radicals are products that are formed from metabolic processes that go on in our body. And they are uncharged small molecules that basically can do damage to the cells in our body if they get present in too many numbers. So Eternal gets rid of free radicals. Now, what's in it? Well, it's CoQ10. Everybody's heard of CoQ10. However, this CoQ10 is, because of cellular absorption, absorbed 3 times greater into the body than any other CoQ10 product out there. But in addition to CoQ10, it's got Resveratrol. Resveratrol is the antioxidant that's in red wine. There's 200 milligrams of resveratrol in each one of these packages of Eternal. It's a liquid, and here's the package. You can see this with the arrow. It's a little package, and it tastes delicious. And you basically just open it up and take 1 to 2 a day. But the third antioxidant in it is the big one, and that's called glutathione. It doesn't come much more powerful than glutathione. So CoQ10, resveratrol, and glutathione together make this Eternal a very effective product. Now, why is this exciting? Here's why. Because, again, by people using this and more people using this, now all of a sudden people are getting up and saying, wow, that Eternal, it got rid of my GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, or as the Italians call it, agita, or as the rest of the world calls it, heartburn. If you've got a product like Eternal, and it will help people who have acid indigestion and reflux and GERD, it's a home run. And the other day on one of our conference calls, 4 menopausal women who are in this deal were glowing about the fact that the Eternal has done more to help their postmenopausal symptoms than anything that their physicians have prescribed. So my wife, who is well over menopause, said to me, hey, where was this when I was going through my menopause? The point I'm bringing up, folks, is as more and more postmenopausal women or perimenopausal women hear about this, or as the husbands of women who have perimenopausal symptoms and all the aggravation that goes with, hear about this, the demand for this Eternal is going to get even bigger. Collagen is the last of the 6 products. Collagen is called the Rejuvenator. In it are 5 grams of pure collagen. What's collagen? Well, collagen is a substance that we need for our skin, our hair, our nails, but most importantly, for our joints. It's also got, in this collagen, it's got hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is used by physicians who inject it into joints for people who have no cartilage, bone-on-bone arthritis, because it gives relief from pain. This product, collagen, has hyaluronic acid in it, as well as biotin and keratin to help your skin. The beauty of this is it's a product that Dr. Dan developed. You take it for 10 days and then you're off for 20. You take it for 10 days and then you're off for 20. It's like birth control pills. On for 3 weeks, off for a week. Well, in this case, on for 10 days, off for 20 days. On for 10 days, off for 20 days. And the rationale was basically simple. Dr. Dan wanted to wake up our collagen cells because they go dormant. They get sleepy as we get older. I love to say men lose testosterone, women lose estrogen. We both lose collagen. So Dr. Dan developed this to stimulate your collagen cells in your body to basically wake up and turn on. But he didn't want to suppress them. That's why you're not taking it every single day. He just wants 10 days of stimulation followed by 20 days to let the cells do their own thing. A beautiful concept, and it works. People who use collagen look better. And not only do they feel better about how they look, but their neighbors and friends say, wow, you look great. What are you doing? So these 6 products are basically the internal wellness guardians. But get ready, because here comes the blockbuster. The blockbuster is here. This is Visage. This was introduced in August of 2024. It's the world's first neurocosmetic. What does that mean? Well, it's cosmetic because it's basically a serum that you put on your face and your neck. That's the cosmetic aspect of it. The neuro aspect of it is because it basically stimulates the nerves under your skin where you apply it to your face or your neck, and that triggers your brain to release what are called neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are substances that our brain releases into our bloodstream that do good things. There are three in particular that Dr. Dan has shown. And look here, folks, look down at this column. You can see these bar graphs he's got. And what he has done is shown before and after on these bar graphs of levels of three of these transmitters: dopamine, serotonin, and DHEA. Well, what's dopamine? You may have all heard of a disease called Parkinson's. I think Michael J. Fox, I think that's his name, is the celebrity who probably is most well known with Parkinson's. Parkinson's is a disease where your brain doesn't make enough dopamine. And as a result of not having enough dopamine, you have rigidity in your joints, in your movements, staggering gait. You're not thinking clearly. It's hard to concentrate. Well, our product, Visage, increases dopamine. What does that mean for us? It means we move better, we glide better, we think better, our cognition is better, our mood is better, our motivation is better. All of this because we increase the amount of dopamine naturally from a phytonutrient. This Visage are plants. It's phytonutrients, no chemicals, no artificial anything in it. It's so beautiful, the chemistry of it. It's so beautiful and pure. Well, the next neurotransmitter that's released is serotonin. Well, you're probably all aware that people get depressed. And when they get depressed, they don't have enough serotonin in their bloodstream. So physicians like me, we write for drugs that increase the amount of serotonin in their bloodstream. Here, Visage increases the amount of serotonin in your bloodstream. It makes you feel happier, more focused. You sleep better. You think better. You're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. You're motivated. It's just you glow. Let's put it that way. You glow with serotonin. And the third neurotransmitter that is increased in our bloodstream, just as a result of putting this stuff on your skin, is called DHEA, dihydroepiandrosterone, which is a neurotransmitter that's made by the adrenal gland as well as made by the brain. And it basically helps us to be more motivated, more focused, sleep better, and do very much the same things as the other neurotransmitters do. So Dr. Dan has put together this Visage as a three-part program. The first is a cleanse that you put on your face that basically gets rid of oils and makeup and all kinds of impurities. The second is a toner that basically just makes your skin full of water and get ready to accept the third part, which is the super serum, which is the Visage super serum itself. And as they used to say, for those of you old enough to remember Brill cream, a little dab will do you. Well, a little dab on your finger, you put it on your finger and you put it on your face, you rub it in, and you do that morning and night, and that's it. The Visage magic works. And people will tell you that they see great results in a matter of 3 weeks or so. So basically, coming back to the business aspect of it, basically, we're looking for people who see it. We're looking for people who want to be on the cutting edge of a business that is in a $200 billion market. $200 billion market. Hundreds of millions of people are taking vitamins, supplements, minerals all over the world. Our job is basically just to wake them up to what we've got and say, here, try ours. I'm telling you, it only takes 3 weeks to a month, maybe 6 weeks, maybe 2 months for people to come back and say, wow, this is great stuff. I'm going to stay on it. 90% of the people who try one product will love it and continue on it after they've had this kind of effect. And then when their friends and their family see what's going on, they want to try it. And one thing leads to another, and your business grows and grows and grows through what's called word of mouth advertising. So if you decide to join us, this whole thing is basically custom made for you. For the price of admission, are you ready? $30 a year. $30 a year. For the price of admission, you get Robust, replicated website, e-commerce ready. You got a back office that tracks your whole business, marketing and media tools, on and on and on. This is why it's so attractive to people who have never, ever thought about having their own business because they don't have to manage all this stuff that they're totally overwhelmed with. The company gives it all to us for $30 for the year. That's for the year. It's better than Costco. If you want to join this business, there's multiple ways to generate income. I'm not going to go through all of these, but let me just tell you, this is a very lucrative compensation plan. The fellow today in a Total Wine that I was telling you about, who is looking at this now, who's never been in his own business, the first question he said is, how do you get paid? Is it sales? Is it commission that you have to generate yourself? Is it based on what you do? And I said, no. All you got to do is get somebody's nose on that QR code, and you get your own QR code for the $30 and let the story be untold by the company. And then get me or one of the other leaders on the phone to answer any questions or go over the fine points, either from the business point of view or the medical point of view in terms of the health benefits of it, and let the magic work. So that's what this is. This is a multi-level way to get paid, 6 different ways you can get paid. Let me just share this with you. This is one of the most lucrative compensation programs in the industry. 40% of all of the income that's generated comes back to us, the distributors, in the way of commissions and bonuses and overrides. Plus, in addition to that, Dr. Dan Picot, the CEO, spends a boatload, multi-millions of dollars on these wonderful trips and the prizes that he gives out to distributors who are doing the business. So it's a very, very lucrative business. Plus, for those of you who have had experience with multi-level marketing before, there's no breakage. And that is very exciting because that means you don't lose any volume or any of your effort that you put in to help people below you develop their own businesses. We're all on the same page. So it's lucrative, it's fun, and basically, here's some of the trips that they had to Cabo, to Vietnam. They had a trip. They have a trip coming up to France and Monaco. Dan Picot does not mince when it comes to spending money on distributors who are working the business. Why? Because he believes in recognition and he believes in rewarding people for hard work. So you got 2 options at this point. One, people can say, I got plenty of money. I got lots of free time. I'm set. My kids are set. I got apartment buildings. I got stocks. I got bonds. I got trusts. I'm loaded. I don't need any more money. Those people may say, but I've got diabetes, or I've got high blood pressure, or my wife's menopausal, or I'm having trouble with GERD, or I got no energy, or my joints hurt. So I want to just be a user of the product. We call those people retail customers. Now, what does it cost to become a retail customer? Nothing. But a retail customer buys at retail rather than wholesale. So the other option at this point is people become a business builder. What does that mean? Well, that means they see the opportunity here and they pay their $30 and get going. I personally tell everybody who wants to be a retail customer, don't do that. Pay $30, even though I know you don't want to do the business. And by the way, doing the business just means spreading the word. I tell them, become a ambassador just so you can buy the products for you and your family that you want for $30 for wholesale rather than retail. Why spend and pay retail if you can buy the same thing for wholesale? So for those of you who are going to come onto the business and build the business, you've got an option. Where do you want to start? Well, it depends on 2 things. Number one, a lot of people say, well, I don't know what I want to do. I just want to try these products to see if they work. I love that. To see if they work. Well, let me tell you, they work. And I know, and you know, that 90% of the people after a month, 2 months are going to say they work. Okay. But seeing is believing, and very often people have to test it for themselves. So a lot of people buy this premium package, which is the one in the second here. It's this one over here, premium. Why? Because this is one of each of the 9 products. It's enough product for a month for all 9 of our products. And lots of people try that to see how they feel. That costs $600. Now, a lot of people say, I can't afford $600. So we say, okay, we'll come in at the intro level over here. That's $200. And that'll give you one of 3 of the more popular of the 6 products we take by mouth. It's the Eternal, the Vitalite, and the Immune. Or if you want to go the other way and just try the Visage, the neurocosmetic, there's a intro pack. It's a little bit more expensive, 240 versus 200, and that will give you one of each of the cleanse, the toner, and the serum, and that's enough for a month. And basically, you can get your feet wet. Now, very often people will say, okay, let me start out at the intro pack. They'll get on these products 2 or 3 weeks later. They get your sponsor gets a call. Hey, I really like this. I want to upgrade. I want to buy more. I want to try the other stuff. You can always get more later on if you're ready. Now, some people see it like I saw it. I came in at $2,800. Why? Because I knew once I saw Dr. Dan's clinical studies, once I saw that there was a scientific advisory board, once I saw that these products are in the PDR, I knew just on the basis of that, there's science behind these products. And I didn't have to go out and test it for myself because I was confident as a physician, somebody who's been using proactive wellness products for many, many years, that this company is the real deal. Again, folks, as you kick the bricks of other companies, you're not going to find clinical studies. You're not going to find scientific advisory boards. They're volunteer. You're not going to find inclusion of all the products in the PDR. You're just not going to find it. So I came in at the top. Why? Because I could afford $2,800 and I wanted to get this off on a bang. What am I doing with all these products? Well, I'm using a lot of them. I'm giving them away to people who are relatives or as gifts. I'm also reselling them to certain people who say, I want to just buy a box of this or a bottle of that. I'm not ready to sign up to anything. I say, okay, why don't you just buy one? I'll sell it to you for wholesale. You can be which is what I paid for it. You can basically do whatever you want. Some people, though, come in as a business builder at $1,360. Again, it all depends on how much can you afford and do you see it. But I will tell you that this premium one is very, very popular because it gives people a smattering. It gives you one of each of all 9 products, enough so that you can basically tell the world at the end of 30 days, wow, this is really good stuff. So I encourage you, anybody who's looking at this business and thinking about this, to talk to the person who invited you to come on and basically just get going with it. It's exciting. It's an exciting time to be part of this company because, number one, we are in the infancy. If you know anything about business, you want to be on the ground floor of a juggernaut before it becomes something that everybody in the world has seen. One of our leaders, Tracy Smith, said the other day on one of the calls, you will feel the dagger in your heart when you go to a meeting and you find one of your best friends or one of your colleagues at that meeting, and you did not call them to introduce them to 3, someone else did, and you will just regret it. So for those of you who want to join this business, we invite you in and just come on in and let's roll up our sleeves and get going. And I'm going to ask Sally to say a few words, if I can figure out how to unmute you. Hold on.
Oh, hi.
There you go.
I have to come in a little late because I had a Zoom going on for a whole hour before I get onto here. So, isn't Dr. Bob have a wonderful presentation? Yeah. So, I guess I just want to wrap it up with maybe a couple of us can talk about our testimonial to let other people know that I've been on the supplements for over 18 months, and it has been doing wonders for me. And I had had a knee pain from overuse my knees from exercising. And then after I took the products for about a week, and the pains is gone and magically it's gone. And I did, try to not believe it for a few days, but continually the supplements is just helping. But if you ask me which one that helps me or that have helped me, I pick all six of them. And at that time, there was only six products, intake like six products. So yeah, but they really work wonders for not just us. And probably now I take the opportunity to bring, you know, Stephanie can be do a very short one like mine, and just when you take it, how will it help? Stephanie, you want to come on and just very quickly talk about your testimonial to let the audience know?
Wait, do I have to,
No, Stephanie should be able to unmute herself. I know that she's on. Stephanie, are you on or are you out? I saw her phone still on. So maybe we'll come back with Stephanie. Is it Miller? Miller is on the call, and you can share your testimonial too, Miller.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Good evening.
Hi,
Hi.
everyone.
I have been on all six products for almost, let's see, a little bit over 2 weeks. And I also have noticed my knee, which every now and then gets a little tweaked from also overuse of exercise and high heels.
I'm on call.
Anyhow, I noticed that has completely is gone. And my main thing is probably my asthma, which I have had for quite some time, but I do not use albuterol any longer for almost 25 years. But since the last 2 or 3 months, it's been pretty cold, and I think my lungs have gotten pretty affected by it. I believe so. And I would wake up maybe 2 or 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning to crackling of my lungs. And since I've been taking I'm sorry, which one is that? The
Eternal.
Purify. Well, I take all six, but it's the Purify that I believe has, it could be all of them, but it definitely has. The first day actually, when I took it, it was actually gone. I didn't have any of that crackling, which I thought was, wow, am I just overthinking this? But no, it was the truth. And then every now and then I could hear a little bit of the crackling. I would wake up to a little bit of crackling, but nothing like how it had been in the past 2 to 3 months. So I believe in these products.
See, that's really wonderful story to share. And again, maybe Dr. Bob, you already, I know you, I weren't at the very beginning, but were you able to share your most astonishing testimonial?
Well, the first thing I would just want to say with what Mila just said was stop and think how big the universe is of people who have asthma. Now, Dr. Dan did not develop Purify and Eternal for asthma, but as more and more people have the kind of reaction she had, and more people get up and talk about, wow, this stuff is great for my asthma, just think about how many people that you might know who have asthma, or they know people who have asthma, are going to want to try these products. The demand is just going to go through the roof in that community itself. That's what's so exciting, is more and more people come on and tell us about all these wonderful results they've had for their particular malady. More and more people who have that are going to try it. Fibromyalgia is a huge problem in this world, and people are getting great results from Revive. Now, Dr. Dan and the company can't say that, but people can get up and say, this is a personal testimonial. This is what happened to me. And if someone's got fibromyalgia and has been struggling with it for years and they hear about a Revive, boy, are they going to want to get it on it quickly. My personal experience has been phenomenal. I've got cancer. I've got a form of cancer called multiple myeloma. It's a variant of leukemia. In my bone marrow, I've got plasma cells. We've all got plasma cells in our bone marrow, and they make antibodies. So when you fight bacteria and viruses, it's the antibodies in your system that are very much doing the fighting. Well, those are made by plasma cells. The problem for me and anybody else who's got multiple myeloma is that our plasma cells have gone wacky and they overproduce proteins. And the way people die with my disease, and unfortunately there's no cure yet, is that the protein overwhelms the kidney. You go into kidney failure and you die. They're working on cures, but we're still quite a ways. But the most incredible thing is I started taking these products, and along with the immunotherapy, I go to LA once a week or once a month for immunotherapy. That's a form of chemotherapy, but it doesn't have any of the side effects of chemotherapy. It uses what are called monoclonal antibodies. You may have seen enough ads on TV for things like psoriasis and all kinds of other diseases where they're talking about monoclonal antibodies. That's what I'm getting every month to fight my myeloma. And it's worked. My myeloma is basically in remission, which is phenomenal, but I'm smart enough to know that there's no cure. So I take these 3 products, all 9 of them, and I go in to see my oncologist in LA once a month. And he says to me, Green, you are the most energetic 79-year-old cancer patient I have ever seen. And I say, Doc, you got to get on these products. And he's old school. And he goes, oh, it's not FDA approved. Garbage. But anyway, that's of his headset. I'm not going to fight with him. It doesn't matter. You can't convince him. Don't confuse me with the facts. I've got my mind made up, that kind of thing. But in any event, it's a wonderful experience I've had. And I'll tell you, anybody, whether you have cancer or not, anybody, if you want more energy, you want to get on Vitality at a minimum. And that's my story. Anybody else want to share?
That's very good. Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Okay.
But wait, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Bob. And by the way, it was great to meet with you on Saturday. I appreciate.
Oh, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Introduce yourself.
My name is the long part of my name is Royale Babe. You can call me RB though. That's why I got RB on there. Royale Babe Foston. And so Mila introduced me to the products, and I've been taking them for 8 days. Yesterday, well, first of all, let me just tell you a couple of things that I couldn't do. I couldn't go up and down the stairs without feeling pain in my knees, my knee joints, and lower back. I was in 2 motorcycle accidents, and one in 2019 and one in 2022. And I went through chronic pain management and a whole bunch of different therapies and everything, and just focusing on eating good, eating right and everything. But I told Dr. Bob too that I wasn't even taking supplements at all. And he laughed. He said, well, you're a minority. So.
And by the way, the New England Journal of Medicine said that, not Dr. Bob.
Right. True. But Dr. Bob shared that information with me, and I was grateful for that. But so the short story is, I started 8 days ago. Today, well, first of all, I don't feel any pain at all, and I don't take pain medicine. So I feel no pain. I feel 0 pain. I actually just finished working out. And when I saw Dr. Bob on Saturday, it was still, I could still feel it, still, lingering. but that was 2 days late. This 2 days later now, and I feel virtually no pain. And then going up and down the stairs, it's minimal. So on a scale from 1 to 10, it's like a 3 or 4 now, which is amazing. And that's just in 8 days. And I haven't even taken my dose today. So I'm gonna do that shortly and then have some soup. But the products, I can attest to them, and I wanted to try them myself. It's not a placebo. It's real. It's definitely real. So I'm appreciative of that. And so anyone on here who hasn't made the decision to at least try the products yet, you should just try them and see for yourself. And once you have the experience, you're gonna be excited like the rest of us are, and you're just gonna start telling everyone you know. You're gonna be like, there's no one that you're not gonna want to tell about it. So that's it for me. And thank you very much for introducing me to it too, Mila.
Well, join us in the quest to tell 8.1 billion people about these products.
I'm with you, brother.
Anybody else want to share?
Hello, I'm back. I'm sorry, someone just called me, want to order some more products, so I got to pick up the phone.
All business before pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. That was great, RB. That's great. Good to hear. Hello. I was actually doing here and there, so I didn't have my camera on, but I can share my little story. I was on 6 products, and long story short, I would barely walk a year ago. And Sally shared the product to me, and I tried 3 weeks after. I feel able to run up and down the stair at work. I was so happy, and then I have my cholesterol was 350 over, and my doctor say you have to take medication, if not you're going to be here and there and die or whatever. I say no, I try not to, but at the time I just tried the product beginning. I said I heard this product can help me, let me try. 6 months later I come back with you. If I'm still 300 something at that that number, I will listen to you and take the medication. 6 months, 5.5 months, I come back and I test, come back and I dropped to 220. And then she like, what did you do? So she actually looked at the website and she say, well, ask your company to have a patent. And I said, oh, okay, they already have a patent. But then she kind of not believe on me. She said, why don't you do another test, come back 6 months again, I want to see it. So I come back 6 months again, actually now talk about a month ago, and now it's 170. And yeah, and then I'm like, doctor, do I still need to take medication? Say, no, you're fine. Whatever you do, keep that, but watch out what you eat. I said, okay. And so now I happy, and she also said, is that okay that I can share to some elderly patient that have walk issue, knee issue, or cholesterol? Say, yeah, just give me a call. I just sharing. That's all I did. I'm not selling. I just sharing to people. That's all. So yeah, I was happy. So I want to share more to everyone here down here. And my son have autism, ADHD. He drive me nuts. People have I'll be laughing. And then I give him the beginning without Visar. I give him the all 5 product because he not taking collagen. Save it for mom. So and he have I can see a different from him. And after the Visa came out, I give it to him to rub it on his neck because he doesn't want me to put anything on his face. So it's okay. And he's more calm than before. Like more, it's just different, a lot more different. He usually really loud and, like frustrating and very grouchy with me. But now he's, a lot of time he would say, yes, mom, you need help, something like that, instead of like, mom, what do you want? So I was so happy for that. But I can on and on. I have so many testimonials, but that's all. If people who want to try it, for 2 to 3 months, and you see, the result, you will happy. That's all I have for now. But thank you for letting me talk. Thank you. Thank you, Avi. Thank you.
Again, RB, most people, 90% of people who try it will have a good experience, not necessarily in 8 days, but certainly, well, I'd say most of them, not all of them, certainly by the end of the first month. And it may go into 2 months, but 90% are going to have a good experience. And that's what that's why sales are 150 million already in just 20 months. It's because of the products.
Thank you, Dr. Bob. Yeah, I'm excited to see. So that's just like shy of 2 weeks. So I'm looking forward to like just 3 weeks to a month to see how, and also, the big G, give gratitude and your attitude toward it as well. Like if you're taking something and you have an attitude like, oh, it's not going to work. Well, you want to have the attitude that it's going to work. This is not just something in your mind. It's actually going to work, and it is working. So let's see, a month, I probably will be running marathons. I'll invite you, Doc.
Okay. Well, I come up from Palm Springs. I fly up once a month, and we're going to start having meetings, RB, the first Saturday of every month at the Hilton Hotel in Burlingame. And the first one is going to be on April 5th. And the big cheese himself, Samson Lee, who's one of the big leaders in this company, is going to grace us with his presence and do at least a 3-hour training with us. And I may be doing I may be doing what I just did now for the first hour, but we'll see. But you definitely want to be there. You definitely want to, and if for whatever reason, if you can't be there, just send as many people as you possibly can to hear about the story and to meet Samson Lee.
Definitely. When you've come into the knowledge of something good and it's good for you, if it's good for you, it's good for everyone. The results may vary and everything, but it does what it does, so that's the good thing. And I'm looking forward to continuing. I've already talked to a bunch of people, a bunch of my colleagues in the holistic field as well as the business field, and they're excited about it because as you get further along in the journey, things are happening to the body.
Yep.
You're not absorbing
Yep.
The minerals and nutrients and vitamins from the food like you did when you were younger.
Okay.
And like I was telling you, and you need something. I needed this. I was devoid of this. So I'm really happy that Mila told me about it when she did. Boom, it was right on time.
Let me just give you one little caveat. If you send people to your marketing site, which is this QR code we keep talking about, you want to tell them to scroll down on your marketing site until they see the pictures of all 9 products. And then they want to tap on each product individually because it will open up all kinds of information, including Dr. Dan on some videos about that one particular product. If people don't know to tap on the individual picture, they will miss it. They'll miss seeing all of this good information. And the other caveat I would give you is I tell people when you go to my QR code or my marketing site and you look, make sure you tap on each one of these pictures one at a time, look at all the stuff, and then go on to the next one. And if you happen to see any prices on those pictures, ignore them because those are retail prices and we don't pay anything like that. We pay wholesale prices. And I tell you that because I had someone who looked at my QR code and came back to me and said, this is too expensive. I sent it around to a whole bunch of my friends and they all agreed this is too expensive. And I said, oh, wait a minute. Those are retail, not wholesale. And he said, why didn't you tell me that? Quite frankly, because I didn't think about it. Right. So I'm paying it forward, and I want to make sure that you don't get in the same position.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Okay. Well, so we're gonna have another next week. Same
Yep.
schedule. So if you guys can, that's how we build on these platforms and the Zoom meeting. It's not just for any particular team. It's for the San Francisco Bay Area team because we want to collaborate and work with everybody. Everybody is a three family, so we want to work together and bring awareness of proactive wellness. We want to build a big community in this area where a lot of people, they're so unfortunate and not having the slightest idea that nutrition is very, very key to our, lifelong health, right? So I just want everybody to be able to participate and bring more friends and family members to come and join us. And we would love to share our testimonials with every one of them. Yep. Mhm.
I have
All right.
one last question.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
All right.
One last
Thank
question.
you, Dr.
Thank
Bob.
Yeah, wait. I think RB have question.
One last question. Have you had any experience with people that have had strokes or heart attacks or strokes? Has anyone started taking the products that has had those kind of experiences?
Oh, yeah. A lot of people who've had strokes or heart attacks are on these products. For the people who've had strokes, though, I mean, everybody feels better on these products, even if you have some neurological deficit, but I don't know that it improves any hemiparesis or weakness of an arm or a leg.
Okay.
If someone has basically lost the function of a limb from a stroke that occurred a couple of years ago, I don't believe that these products are going to reverse that. On the other hand, everybody's going to feel a lot more energy and be a lot brighter and a lot sharper and sleep better and think better and all the positive things that make life worthwhile.
Absolutely.
So that's why I say to Dr. Berenson, my oncologist, I said, listen, doc, I know that this is not going to cure my multiple myeloma, but I got to tell you, I feel fantastic.
That's what's up right there.
We have a testimony about stroke and recovered, but it's Chinese. If somebody can use AI transfer to English, would be great. So
I remember there's a lady
Yeah.
from
Hong
Macau.
Kong. Macau, yeah.
From Macau,
Yeah.
yeah. She only had the face stroke, has a face dripping. And then after she took, I think, 3 months, her face become to normal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's speaking Chinese. Yeah, I saved the video.
So Victor, can you use AI transfer to English? Would be great.
Yeah, she I think she took a whole 6 products.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then lots of toxic came out her body, on her back. Just so much toxic come out. So each is hurt, and 2 months later, and all gone. She just kind of feel normal.
That was sounding the story again. Yeah. Mhm.
Mm.
Okay.
I can send this video to Mila. So later I can get the number, RB.
Yeah.
So give me a number
Yeah.
so I can text you directly.
Please.
Yeah,
Please, Mila, give-
it's in Chinese, but you can see her
Yeah.
reaction. Yeah.
No, that's okay. I speak Chinese too.
Oh,
You
You're
see?
gonna learn. You're gonna learn.
Yeah, put in the translation, Google
it's just-
Translate.
Little bit, Piquito. See,
Yeah.
I'm speaking Spanish. I'm speaking Chinese too.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's about the pain. Like my brother and friend who had a stroke. So he talks about the pain like I was, and I just told him about it. He's very interested in trying the product. So just even on that level, just the pain level.
Mhm.
Who wants to be in pain? You know, doesn't matter if it's this doesn't correct everything, but if he can take away the pain without having to take pharmaceuticals, that's a great thing.
Kathy, do you know which products this stroke victim was on?
I think she probably all 6 of them.
All 6.
Okay.
Most of us we take all of them. Yeah.
Wow. You know, if we can get enough personal testimonials of stroke victims who have had great results on these products in terms of decreasing their deficit, their neurological deficit,
Yeah.
my God, think about the demand for these products.
In Chinese market, we have so many testimonials. That everybody speaking Chinese, so many different kind of problem, like kidney cancer,
Right?
late stage cancer. I think that lady from Malaysia, she spoke in English. So I'm gonna send you that video. So that lady crying on the stage. Her brother was very late stage of kidney cancer in Malaysia, and then I think that even the product really come out of the market yet. So she from New York, flew to Salt Lake City, meet with Dr. Dan Gubler, and then so we'll help, our product will help. So she bought a big package, shipped to UPS, shipped to Malaysia. So like her brother, took all of them. Few months later, her brother go out, go to restaurant, go to restaurant. That's amazing. Of course, in company level, you can't share these stories, but
Yeah.
that's real. That's just so true. These things, like they say, oh, you can't mention certain disease. Like my husband, he has his fingers hurt so bad, just couldn't gentle touch, make him jump. He only took 6 pills, 80%, 90%, all gone. Like in 1.5 day, all gone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting into the body, inside the body, and it's
Yeah.
working.
Well,
right away.
fast, very fast. It's so he was wondering. Is it my imagination or your pill really works? But I don't know. Maybe it's your imagination. At that time, I haven't tried yet. That time, so I didn't know it works that fast.